Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 463 based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin's words contained an indisputable force. The moment he spoke, his 7 rotating stars landed on the nether beast's mouth. The first star shined brightly, then the second, third, and fourth stars also shined. An ancient soul force came from the stars and entered Wang Lin's mind. When all 7 stars lit up, the soul seal would be successful. However, just at this moment, time passed. Ling Dong and Ju Jin had already been devoured and there wasn't enough time. The suction force appeared once more and Wang Lin's body began to show signs of being inhaled. Facing danger, Wang Lin let out a roar and mercilessly waved at the mysterious realm inside the nether beast. As the howling echoed, all the ancient leaves flew out toward the black hole inside the mouth. Thunderous rumbles echoed. When the suction force weakened, the 5th star shined. However, as it flashed, the ancient leaves were sucked away by the black hole and the suction force increased more. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. He had already paid a great price. If he succeeded, Ling Dong and company would be fine, but if he failed, the price would be extremely heavy. However, he had analyzed everything in detail before he began, and everything was still within his calculations. He was confident in lighting the last 2 stars. When the suction force appeared once more, Wang Lin waved his sleeve. Behind him, the Moongazer serpent's large body appeared and flew toward the black hole. In a flash, the Moongazer serpent blocked the black hole. As it was sucked in, it was able to buy Wang Lin enough time. The 6th star lit up. The 7th star shined brightly. The 7 stars in the nether beast's soul mouth shined brightly, and as they rotated, the soul seal was complete. The outer reel, the soul seal, and the internal seal, Wang Lin had completed 2 of them and only needed 1 more. After the ancient god stars finished the seal, they returned to Wang Lin. However, just at this moment, a shocking change occurred. A shocking ray of 7-colored light came from the nether beast's sealed soul. This 7-colored light was monstrous and soon shrouded the surrounding area. When Wang Lin saw the 7-colored light, even he was startled for a moment. 7 colors. The 7-colored light swept across the star domain. As it spread out from the nether beast's soul, it also covered the nether beast's body. As the 7-colored light spread out, an indescribable force came from inside the nether beast. At the same time, Wang Lin's seal on the nether beast's body began to dissipate. Under the impact of the 7-colored light, a majority of it was swept away, leaving only a sliver remaining. But even that was about to disappear. The 7-star soul seal that was placed on the mouth immediately became dim. It was as if 7 candle flames were struggling in the wind and could be extinguished at any moment. In a flash, 3 star seals extinguished. This sudden change was outside Wang Lin's expectations. He couldn't have expected this nether beast to have the power of the 7-colored light. 7 colors, 7 colors. The 7-colored light flashed rapidly and became even stronger. Phantoms began to float out from the mouth of the nether beast. Enlightened, prisoner of the Tao of Heaven, all sentient beings must endure immeasurable calamities. It only takes a thought to leave the deep prison. Await the path of cultivation. A hum came from the phantoms that floated out from the nether beast's mouth. Enlightened, all life must walk forever forward and solve the modern age. Escape the will of heaven and obtain the path to life. Await the path of cultivation. Enlightened, seal the will of the heavens. Engrave the dark days. All life doesn't know the true Tao. The bitter abyss forever distorts the true Tao. Await the path of cultivation. More and more figures appeared surrounding the nether beast and soon surrounded the area. Enlightened ones. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he vaguely understood something. He understood why the nether beast had an escape and why its personality had reversed. He understood why the nether beast would leave behind excretions inside the fog. He understood why the nether beast was so cunning and there was even wisdom in its eyes. He understood why 7-colored light would erupt from its soul after he sealed most of it. It actually devoured a 7-colored realm over the last 1,000 years. Wang Lin was shocked and he didn't dare to believe it. His guess wasn't wrong. In truth, after Wang Lin appeared, the nether beast wandered through the fog. It was timid, and although it was extremely powerful, any random fierce beast was able to scare it away. However, it had obviously forgotten the pressure emitting from its body that made no beast or cultivator dare get near it. As it moved, all the surrounding beasts scattered. As it wandered, the nether beast remained in a foggy state. It didn't have enough intelligence and had spent most of its life sleeping. Even during the occasional moment it was awake, it would be in a daze. However, after Wang Lin left with the chosen immortal clan, the nether beast awakened. It suddenly felt hunger, but it was afraid to leave the fog, so it could only wander around slowly within the fog. After an unknown amount of time, a giant spatial rift appeared before it. Bursts of seven-colored light came from the rift and shined in its eyes. At this moment, an embarrassed figure stepped out from the rift. The clothes on this figure were in tatters, and before he even got a good look at his surroundings, he began to laugh like crazy. I finally came out. I finally came out of that damn place. This old man is finally free. However, he suddenly stopped before he finished speaking. The figure obviously saw the giant nether beast before it and felt the terrifying pressure. His appearance startled the nether beast as well. The man and beast stared at each other for a short while before cold sweat filled that person's forehead. His face turned pale and he let out a blood-curdling scream. When it heard the scream, the timid nether beast finally reacted and thunderous rumbles came from its body. This roar was an extremely terrifying thing to hear for anyone, but in truth, it was a scream of fear after being scared by that figure. The figure trembled and returned into the seven-colored rift without hesitation, escaping back into the seven-colored realm. Only that frenzied scream seemed to echo among the fog. The nether beast also retreated as it roared in panic, and it retreated very far. It stared at the seven-colored rift with fear in its eyes. It was completely frightened. First, it was the appearance of the seven-colored rift, then it was the person that suddenly appeared, and finally that person let out that mournful scream before it could react, making it lose its wits. After a long time, the nether beast saw that no one was chasing it and began to hesitate. The small amount of guts it had returned, and after thinking for a long time, it carefully returned to stare at the seven-colored rift in a daze. It didn't know why, but it liked the seven colors a lot. Otherwise, with how timid it was, it wouldn't have returned. It was in a daze for 100 years. This nether beast stared at the seven-colored rift in a daze for 100 years as if it was pondering. After 100 years, it still couldn't understand how the rift had appeared or what it was. However, the seven colors made it feel very happy, so it was unwilling to leave and remained in a daze. However, after it was in a daze for a dozen more years, another accident occurred. The nether beast's eyes were thousands of feet wide, and one of them was less than 10 feet away from the spatial rift. It was as if it wanted to see what was inside the rift. The person that came out of the rift seemed to have struggled for 100 years and finally gained the courage to carefully poke his head out. His hair was scattered and his body was thin. He looked extremely miserable. Because the nether beast was too close, his vision was blurry, but when his vision became clear, his face became pale and he let out that miserable scream once more. You're still here. You waited here for 100 years, the person screamed as he retreated back into the seven-colored realm. This sudden change scared the nether beast once more. However, its memory seemed more profound, so it only retreated 100,000 feet. It waited for a long time, and after seeing nothing come out of the rift, it couldn't endure its love for the seven-colored light any longer. It carefully moved closer and continued to stare at the seven-colored rift in a daze. Time slowly passed, 200 years, 300 years, 500 years. Until one day, the nether beast felt hunger, but it was unwilling to leave. After pondering a bit, it opened its mouth and devoured the seven-colored rift. Suction force appeared and the space the seven-colored realm existed in was devoured into the realm inside the nether beast. Although Wang Lin didn't know the entire process, he could guess the process and the result. As the murmurs of the enlightened ones came from inside the nether beast, a rumble came from its mouth and a giant, stone tablet appeared. Scarlet red blood was used to carve sections of Tao scripture onto the stone tablet. All of this happened in a flash. When the enlightened ones appeared and began chanting, the giant, stone tablet appeared above the nether beast soul. The blood-red words contained crazed intent. Under this intent, the enlightened ones seemed to have gone crazy and their chanting became shouts. They seemed to be under control and rotated rapidly to form a vortex. This vortex contained a destructive force that spread out in all directions. Wang Lin was pushed back 3 steps. Just as he was about to move forward, the Tao scripture on the stone tablet flew out and charged at Wang Lin. The Tao scripture instantly closed in on Wang Lin. Wang Lin had been to the 7-colored realm and knew how terrifying it was. As the Tao scripture closed in, he began to hear a faint voice murmuring the contents of the Tao scripture. Enlightened, prisoner of the Tao of heaven, as the vortex rotated, the crazed intent spread out like crazy. At this moment, out of the 4 remaining stars on the nether beast's soul, 2 more extinguished. At the same time, the nether beast's soul's mouth returned back into its body. As the vortex rotated, the nether beast retreated rapidly with fear in its eyes. It was scared. The 7-colored realms might have changed its personality, but it was difficult to forget its originally timid nature. Also, the seal on its soul hadn't dissipated, and this brought it intense fear. As the Tao scripture pushed Wang Lin back, the giant nether beast used its other spell. Ethereal mode. The nether beast's body became blurry, and in just a few thousand feet, it completely disappeared. The enlightened ones, the vortex, and the Tao scripture that was charging at Wang Lin disappeared with it. Everything disappeared along with the nether beast. Wang Lin's eyes became blood red and he let out a roar of anger. Ling Dong, Zhu Jin, the moongazer serpent, and the ancient leaves were all inside the nether beast. If it escaped, the cost would be too great. A sudden change occurred in this hunt for the nether beast due to it devouring the 7-colored realm. Although Wang Lin had calculated this, he still couldn't have expected such a ridiculous thing to happen. A 7-colored realm had appeared inside this foggy region and was devoured by the nether beast. I can't let it escape. Madness appeared in Wang Lin's eyes. He stepped forward and appeared above the star domain. He then waved his hand at the star domain below. In an instant, the thunder tattoo flew out from his right eye and covered the surrounding area. The 9 accompanying thunders rotated rapidly around it. The world rumbled and endless thunder appeared out of nowhere, forming a thunder hell. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Wang Lin roared with monstrous anger. The thunder essence rushed out of his body and expanded rapidly. 10,000 feet, 100,000 feet, 1 million feet, 10 million feet. In a flash, the thunder tattoo covered the surrounding 10 million foot area. There was madness in Wang Lin's eyes as he pointed to the spot between his eyebrows and ancient god power filled his body. Expand for me. 10 million feet, 30 million feet, 50 million feet. 100 million feet. Wang Lin let out a roar and the Emperor Furnace flew out of this first star. The furnace fused with the thunder tattoo. Expand once more. Thunderous rumbles echoed. The thunder tattoo that had reached 100 million feet expand once more. 200 million feet, 300 million feet, 500 million feet. Until 800 million feet. The endless star domain was shrouded in thunder and became a large thunder lake. Even if you devour the 7-colored realm, you will still become my life essence beast. You may have escaped and now I can't find you, but I'll refine this entire 800 million space into a grain of dust to force you out. Although the nether beast had turned ethereal and escaped rapidly, Wang Lin's seal was still on it. Wang Lin could feel that it was rapidly escaping, but it hadn't left this 800 million foot area. Wang Lin could clearly feel that his seals on its body and soul were rapidly dissipating. Soon, they would dissipate completely and his connection with it would be gone. Thunder rumbled and a 9-colored flame appeared in his left eye and shot out. At the same time, a vermilion bird phantom appeared behind him and let out a cry. The appearance of the vermilion bird meant Wang Lin had activated all the fire inside his body. The vermilion bird shot out to the 800 million feet of space below. In a flash, the world was a sea of fire. There was thunder inside the fire and fire inside the thunder. The Emperor Furnace's aura began refining these 800 million feet of star domain. Wang Lin waved his hand and roared ferociously, "Refine, refine, refine." The 800 million feet star domain began to refine rapidly. If one looked from high above, this 800 million feet area seemed to broke off from the surrounding space if it was cut out and was being refined by the thunder and fire. Wang Lin had already gone crazy. His hands continued to move, placing restrictions inside this 800 million feet of space, causing the refining to become faster and faster. Time was urgent and he couldn't delay anymore. Once the seals on the nether beast dissipated, everything would be lost. Wang Lin didn't have a second Moongazer serpent, a second Ling Dawn, a second Ju Jin to let him hunt the nether beast again. However, the 800 million foot area was too large and couldn't be refined in a short period of time. At this moment, Wang Lin could clearly feel his connection with the nether beast weaken a lot. Although he couldn't see it, he could imagine that out of the 2 stars left, only 1 remained. During this urgent situation, Wang Lin calmed down. He coldly stared at the 800 million foot space that was rapidly being refined. In a short period of time, only 700 million feet remained. This wasn't a flat 700 million feet of space, it went as high as the heavens and as low as hell itself. The part that had disappeared revealed the realm ceiling formation. As for the part that was refined, it became a hole that would last for an eternity in all heaven. While pondering, Wang Lin waved his right hand and hundreds of thousands of restrictions appeared. His left hand moved as well, creating countless afterimages. He used his fastest speed and created endless restrictions. A powerful ancient umbrella that could burn the world appeared above the reigning space. A boundless sense of majesty spread out. Realm-burning umbrella, destroy the realm. Wang Lin raised his right hand as if he was catching the giant umbrella and his left hand pushed it open. Thunderous rumbles echoed. The ancient umbrella trembled and opened up 10%. Monstrous flames came out of the umbrella and rushed down at the 700 million feet of star domain being refined. From afar, the star domain looked like an endless sea of fire. A powerful pressure spread out from the raging flames. The 700 million feet of space began to refine like crazy when the fire from the ancient umbrella rushed in. The 700 million foot area began to shake and shrink rapidly. 600 million, 400 million, 300 million, 100 million. Until it was only 60 million feet. The refining process was accelerated greatly. The empty area revealed the net that was the ceiling realm formation, and many holes appeared. Still not coming out? Wang Lin could feel that the nether beast was within this 6 million feet area. He waved his hand and the Emperor Furnace appeared. The 9 drops of poison merged with the fire and thunder. This method wouldn't waste the precious poison, but it would give Wang Lin the time to force out the ethereal nether beast. The thunderous rumbles continued, and so did the refining. The 60 million foot space became only 30 million feet wide. At the same time, poisonous black fog rapidly spread through the area. Just at this moment, an anxious roar came out. The nether beast's body suddenly appeared in an area that the poison fog was about to submerge. The moment it appeared, Wang Lin stepped forward and closed in. Before the nether beast could open its mouth, his hand slammed down on the sliver of seal that remained on the nether beast's head. Muffled groans came out of the nether beast's unopened mouth. This palm contained Wang Lin's determination. His desire was to make the nether beast his life essence beast no matter what. The seal on the nether beast's head that was about to dissipate was immediately filled with new strength. In a flash, the seal gave off a bright light. Not only did it reform, but it was even 30% stronger than before. When the nether beast was about to open its mouth, Wang Lin let out a roar at the sky. His eyes were red as he reached toward the sky. A giant whip tens of thousands of feet long appeared in this refined star domain. When Wang Lin grabbed the whip, earth-shattering snapping sounds echoed. The whip grew until it was hundreds of thousands of feet long. From afar, this whip looked to be as long as the nether beast. The scene of it dancing in the stars was extremely shocking. The moment the whip appeared, Wang Lin waved his hand and the whip lashed out at the nether beast. Soul Lasher. When the soul lasher landed on the nether beast, it created a thunderous bang, and a muffled roar came from its body. Its body trembled and its soul showed signs of the leaving its body. However, it was able to withstand it. Wang Lin didn't stop at all. The soul lasher seemed to contain Wang Lin's madness and it lashed out 8 times. Adding the lash from before, it was a total of 9 hits. Thunderous rumbles echoed and the nether beast could no longer withstand it. Its timid nature appeared in its eyes once more and its soul was forced out from its body. However, this soul was just like the tip of the iceberg. Although the nether beast felt fear, it knew that it was a moment of crisis, so it struggled to move its soul back into its body. How could Wang Lin let it succeed? His hand waved and popping sounds echoed across the star domain. It was impossible to even see the shadow of the soul lasher as it lashed toward the nether beast. The 19th lash, 30th lash, 50th lash. Until 99 lashes. When the final 100th lash landed, the soul lasher shined brightly. It began to collapse, and a golden light as bright as the sun came from the soul lasher. When the nether beast was covered by this light, it could no longer struggle. Its soul was forced out of its body and appeared among the stars. The nether beast's soul was only a giant mouth that could devour the world. Before it could open its mouth, Wang Lin closed in. His 7 ancient god stars rotated rapidly and shot toward the soul mouth. Thunderous rumbles echoed as the 7 stars pierced through the nether beast's mouth and fused with the last remaining shining star. At this instant, the soul seal recovered to 7 bright stars from just 1. The soul seal was completed once more. However, it wasn't over yet. Out of the 3 seals, there was still the flesh and body seal. Wang Lin pressed down on the soul and it returned to the nether beast's body. At the same time, Wang Lin sank down and borrowed the power of the 800 million feet of star domain he had refined. Before the nether beast could open its mouth on its own, Wang Lin grabbed its mouth and all his ancient god power poured into his hands. He mercilessly tore it open. There was a realm inside the nether beast, and it would appear if it opened its mouth willingly. However, if someone were to force its mouth to open, that realm wouldn't appear and the inside of its body would be revealed. Wang Lin mercilessly opened the nether beast's mouth a sliver. The roar that was gathering inside escaped and collided with Wang Lin. The roar blew Wang Lin's hair back and was attempting to push him away. However, Wang Lin's body wasn't pushed back at all. After opening the nether beast's mouth, he jerked his hands and quickly retracted them. Then his hands created countless restrictions that contained the aura of the ancient order, and a restriction storm shot into the nether beast's mouth. It went into the body of the nether beast and headed toward its organs, blood vessels, bones, and everything inside it. Large amounts of restrictions rushed into the nether beast like crazy, sealing everything. In just a few breaths, the nether beast was completely sealed. After doing all of this, Wang Lin stepped back 1,000 feet and his face turned red. Everything happened in a flash, and even he felt stressed. Now that he had retreated, he coldly looked at the nether beast that had been sealed by the 3 seals. Today, as a royal 7-star ancient god, with my ancient order inheritance, I declare this beast my life essence beast. Nether beast, become my life essence beast. Wang Lin raised his right hand and pointed at the nether beast. The nether beast's body trembled violently as all 3 seals activated at once and a ghostly started shining around it. The struggle in its eyes gradually disappeared and was replaced with a sense of gentleness. After 15 minutes, the nether beast no longer struggled. It silently floated there and lowered its head toward Wang Lin. A connection of the flesh appeared in Wang Lin's heart. It was an inexplicable feeling. It was as if this nether beast had become a part of him. The moment this feeling appeared, a powerful sense of vitality and an ancient aura rushed into Wang Lin's mind from the nether beast through some special method. It was as if he had become the nether beast. The memories of the nether beast filled Wang Lin's mind. At this moment, popping sounds echoed from his body and his ancient god body began to rapidly expand. The vitality from inside the nether beast was extremely powerful. As it rushed into Wang Lin's body, it caused his body to swell to 10,000 feet, 15,000 feet, 20,000 feet, 30,000 feet. Only when he reached 60,000 feet did he stop expanding. A 60,000-foot-tall ancient god appeared among the stars. Wang Lin clenched his large fist and looked ahead. His ancient god power cycled through his body and his powerful vitality filled him with confidence. No wonder Two Size Memories said that only after possessing a life essence beast and giving birth to a moongazer serpent can one truly be considered an ancient god. Although I don't have any moongazer serpents, just this life essence beast already allows my body to reach this level. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and his 60,000-foot body shrank rapidly. As popping sounds echoed, he returned to the size of an ordinary cultivator. However, his appearance was very different from before. He still had a head of white hair. Although he looked like a young man, he now looked a lot younger. There was also an illusion around his body. Aside from third-step cultivators, in the eyes of everyone else, Wang Lin was like a hazy soul without a physical body. He raised his head and looked at the nether beast. He knew all of the nether beast's memories. The nether beast had spent most of its time sleeping, and the few memories it had acquired were chaotic. This was especially true for its birth. It didn't even know how it was created. The only clear memory was the memory of the seven-colored realm. Wang Lin pondered and a sliver of divine sense entered nether beast. Its eyes opened and it slowly opened its mouth like a hiccup. Esteemed Ling Dong was thrown out. He was in a sorry state and there was still fear in his eyes. After Ling Dong, Zhu Jin and the ancient leaves were spat out. Finally, the giant moongazer serpent was coming. The nether beast's mouth continued to widen until it was like a giant black hole, and the moongazer serpent was spat out. It quickly grew until it returned to its original size. Wang Lin put Zhu Jin and Ling Dong back into the Emperor Furnace and then put it away inside his first star. Then he put everything else away and he frowned as he looked at the nether beast. This nether beast's memory is a mess, and during its hunger, it inhaled a bit too hard while devouring the seven-colored realm. It broke some barriers and devoured something it shouldn't have. This is simply too strange. How did it devour a Dao fruit? Wang Lin pressed his right hand down on the nether beast while pondering. The nether beast's body trembled and seven-colored light came out from its mouth. Its mouth slowly opened and an orange-colored fruit hundreds of feet large slowly floated out. Dao fruit? The aura of Dao intent spread out with the appearance of the Dao fruit. As Wang Lin stared at the orange Dao fruit, his eyes lit up. My karma, life and death, and true and false essences are all extremely difficult to complete. All three are Dao, and if I get several of these fruits, I might be able to complete these three essences. Wang Lin waved his right hand and put away the orange Dao fruit. Without the Dao fruit, the wisdom inside the nether beast no longer existed and it slowly became dull. It looked at Wang Lin in a daze. Now it looked like it did in the past, when it was staring at the seven-colored realm. Its mind was muddled again, but it had absorbed some of the Dao fruit, so it had gained some intelligence. Although still hazy, it was much smarter than before. This video will end here.